You wake up on a Tuesday, and you already know how the day tastes. Stale coffee, fluorescent light, an inbox that filled up while you slept. You have hated this job since March. It is November now. You are still here. You tell yourself it is temporary. You have told yourself that for 11 months. Somewhere in your head there is a ledger. You never opened a spreadsheet for it. You never wrote it down. But it exists, and it has been keeping score since the day you almost quit and didn't. This is that ledger. Month 1. The debit column fills first. You sit in a meeting where your idea gets credited to someone else and nobody blinks. You go home and open your laptop and start a resignation letter you will never send. The cost that month is obvious. Dignity, mostly, a little bit of your own voice. But something happens on the credit side that you don't notice yet. Your first paycheck lands, and buried in it is a line you don't read closely. A retirement match. Free money, deposited quietly, contingent on you still being there in a year. You skim past it. The ledger does not skim past anything. Month 2. The debits keep coming. A coworker takes credit for a project you built alone. Your manager cancels your one-on-one for the 3rd week running. You start counting the minutes between now and 5 o'clock, like a prisoner counting bricks. But the credit side is compounding in a way you can't see from where you're standing. Health insurance you would have paid for out of pocket somewhere else. A commute that, however soul-crushing, is 15 minutes shorter than the job you almost took instead. Small numbers. They don't feel like anything. They are becoming something. Month 3 is when you almost leave for real. A recruiter messages you on a Tuesday night with a title that sounds like relief. You draft a response. You save it to drafts instead of sending it. And you tell yourself it's because the timing is wrong. The debit that month is heavier than the others. It's the exhaustion of almost escaping and staying anyway. That specific kind of tired has a cost, and the ledger records it, even though you can't hold a number to it. But here's what the recruiter's job never would have told you, because you never asked. Your current role vests a small bonus at the 1-year mark. You didn't take the job for the bonus. You forgot the bonus existed until this month, when a coworker mentions hers is coming up in the spring. You do the math on your own timeline for the first time. November, 11 months from March is February. Month 4, the ledger gets complicated, because this is the month you stop hating the job in the mornings and start hating it in the evenings instead. The shift is small, but it matters. You have built a callus. Calluses are debits too. They cost you sensitivity you might need somewhere else, someday. But calluses also mean you stop flinching at things that used to wreck your whole day. The meeting where your idea gets stolen again in month 4 costs you less than it did in month 1, not because it matters less. Because you have learned, without meaning to, how to survive a room like that. That skill has a value. Nobody will ever put it on a resume, but the ledger sees it. Month 5, you get a raise. Not a big one, and not because anyone was generous. It is the raise built into the structure. The one they give at intervals to keep turnover down. The one you would have forfeited entirely if you left in month 1 or 2 or 3. It's a few $1,000s a year. It's not nothing. It's not everything. It goes on the credit side, and it stays there, compounding quietly with the retirement match you forgot about. Month 6. This is the month you stop telling your friends how much you hate it. Not because it got better. Because you got tired of hearing yourself say it. That's a debit too. The quietest one so far. A kind of resignation that isn't the same as resigning. Month 7. You find out a friend took the leap. Quit the job she hated. The one that sounded a lot like yours. 6 weeks later, she's still looking. You feel something complicated when she tells you. Not superiority, something closer to recognition. The ledger doesn't have a column for that feeling, but it exists between the numbers. Month 8, the vesting clock keeps ticking whether you're paying attention or not. Your 401k match has been accumulating since month 1. Invisible, unglamorous, doing the only thing money does well when nobody's watching it, which is grow. Month 9, you stop drafting resignation letters, not because you're happy, because 11 months of practice have taught you the difference between a bad day and a bad life, and you've started sorting your days into the right pile. Month 10, the anniversary bonus, is close enough to see. You do something you didn't expect. You start being good at the job, not because you love it, because competence, it turns out, is its own kind of relief. The debit column barely moves this month. The credit column gets a strange new entry, self-respect, the kind that doesn't come from liking your circumstances, but from handling them well. Month 11, the bonus lands. The vesting clock finishes its countdown. The raise from month 5 is still compounding into the retirement account you forgot you had. You open the number for the first time in months, and it is larger than you expected, not because any single month was extraordinary, but because none of them were wasted, even the ones that felt like it. You hand in your notice on a Tuesday, same as the day you almost did it 11 months earlier. Nobody in the office reacts the way you imagined they would. The meeting room where your idea got stolen looks exactly the same as it did in March. Nothing around you has changed. Everything in the ledger has. Here's what the 11 months actually cost you. Some dignity, spent in small denominations across 100 forgettable meetings. Some voice, quieted longer than you wanted. Some tiredness that doesn't fully undo itself the day you leave. Here's what they bought you, whether you meant to buy it or not. A vested bonus. A year of retirement matching you would have forfeited by leaving early. A raise that will keep compounding in accounts you don't check every day. A callus that will serve you in every difficult room you sit in from now on. And proof, the kind you can only get by staying somewhere hard longer than you wanted to, that you can survive something you hate without becoming someone you don't recognize. Nobody hands you this ledger when you take a job. Nobody explains that the 11 ordinary months, the ones that felt like nothing was happening, are usually where the actual balance gets built. You don't feel rich in month 3. You don't feel wise in month 7. You just feel tired and a little bit numb and unsure if staying is weakness or patience, wearing a disguise. It's usually patience. The ledger just takes longer to read than your feelings do.